The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers update for Friday, July 25th, reveals that Liam Spencer will witness a shocker while Brooke Logan's marriage proposal surprise is brewing. At Bill Spencer's place, Sheila Sharp will catch Liam and Steffy Forrester off guard with her arrival. Although Sheila will want to see how Liam's holding up after his medical drama, she'll take one look at Steffy and assume she should go. It'll surprise Sheila when Steffy doesn't want her to leave. In fact, Steffy will admit she's glad Sheila's there. The last time Steffy saw her mother-in-law, Sheila was trying to take the gun out of Luna Nozawa's hands and wound up getting shot. Steffy will point that out before Sheila acknowledges that Liam got the worst of it that day. Even so, Sheila looked out for Steffy and came through when it counted. So Steffy will just want to say thank you. B&B spoilers say that news will throw Sheila for a loop, and Liam should be just as shocked by this hint of bonding he witnesses. There was a time when a moment like this between Sheila and Steffy didn't seem possible, but it'll happen right before Liam's eyes. This emotional thaw will leave Sheila feeling rather hopeful about her chances of being accepted, and maybe getting her biggest wish granted. Could this pave the way for Sheila to truly have John Finn Finnegan and Hayes Finnegan in her life? Speaking of Finn, he'll investigate at the hospital and grow increasingly suspicious of Grace Buckingham. After comparing Liam's old scans and his latest ones, Finn will become more and more convinced that something's off about his miraculous recovery. Grace can't get away with her apparent scam indefinitely, so Finn will put some puzzle pieces together and set the stage for her exposure. It doesn't look like Liam ever had a tumor to begin with, so Grace will have some explaining to do in the coming episodes. At the Forrester mansion, Nick Marone will fail to convince Taylor Hayes to come on the Naples trip. However, Taylor will agree with Nick about it being best if Brooke moves on with him and forgets about Ridge Forrester. With that in mind, Taylor will suggest a new tactic for Nick to try. Since Taylor was able to lock in an engagement with Ridge, could she push Nick to do the same with Brooke? Whatever the case, Taylor will definitely support the thought of Nick and Brooke living happily ever after. Perhaps Taylor will somehow give Nick the idea to propose since we know he'll have an engagement ring for Brooke in Italy. In the meantime, Eric Forrester's words will weigh heavily on Ridge's heart. Deep down, Ridge knows Eric is right about Brooke being the only person for him, but he'll dig his heels in on choosing Taylor for now. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Ridge will head back in Brooke's romantic direction during this Italy trip, so stay tuned for updates on all the action. At Forrester, Eric hollers at Ridge that life is short. You have to hang on to love and cherish it. Ridge loves Taylor. Eric says it's Brooke that's in his heart. She's the love of his life. This trip is his chance to reconnect. If he wastes this chance, he may lose Brooke for the rest of his life. Brooke walks in. Sorry, am I interrupting? Eric was trying to impress upon Ridge the importance of living in the moment. He goes on about Italy being filled with passion and romance. Two things they understand very well. Brooke gushes about how alive she feels in Italy. There have been so many life-changing events there. Eric enthuses. The heart wants what the heart wants. He tells Ridge to ponder his gems of wisdom and exits. Ridge and Brooke laugh that he's not subtle. Brooke says he's right though. The heart wants what the heart wants. Ridge tells Brooke that his dad is intent on playing matchmaker. Brooke knows they're meant to be. This thing with Taylor is just putting off the inevitable. Ridge argues he has a life with Taylor. Brooke tells him his engagement is based on a misunderstanding. She didn't want to hurt him. She loves him so much. Just think about it. Sitting in a little cafe in Naples ordering homemade pasta and pizza, they can stroll back to the hotel and do what they do best. We love each other. How does that sound? Does that sound like magic? Will Nick help Taylor? At the Forrester mansion, Taylor laughs at Nick saying he's going to Naples because he has business. He loves his work. She asks, as much as you love Brooke? Taylor chides that it's lucky he'll be in Naples at the same time as Brooke. Maybe he could do them both a favor. Don't worry, you'll like it. It has to do with Brooke. Nick doesn't follow. Taylor was hoping Nick could keep an eye on Brooke while she's in Italy with her fiancé. Nick's unconvinced that this is a good idea, but Taylor coaxes. They both want the same thing, to keep Brooke away from Ridge. Taylor says it would be comforting if this were to remain a business trip. Nick will think about it. Does Finn have reason to worry? At the hospital, Bridget walks in as Finn leaves a voicemail for Dr. Buckingham. She states that they both have questions about how she managed this experimental surgery on Liam. They discuss Grace having another doctor cover her rounds and not being in touch. Finn recaps that this was a miracle. He just has questions about how she pulled it off. Finn can't get over the secrecy. Plus, Liam's body had experienced extreme trauma. It was extremely risky. Bridget muses that it was a risk worth taking. Grace must have insisted the surgery that day. Finn can't shake the feeling there are still a lot of unanswered questions. At Bill's place, Steffi worries she should leave and let Liam rest. Suddenly, Sheila appears on crutches. Stopping short when she sees Steffi, she apologizes and says she'll leave. Steffi tells her, "Wait, don't leave." Sheila frowns. "You don't want me to leave." Steffi's actually glad she's there. "You looked out for me. I just want to say thank you." Sheila asks if she's forgiven. Steffi says she appreciates what she did. "Take the win, Sheila." She wanted her gone for a long time and she and Luna could have taken her out of the picture. But she didn't. She risked her life to save her, which is something she'll never, ever forget. Sheila won't overstay her welcome. She just wanted to see Liam and say she's relieved that he wrestled that gun away from Luna. She thought she could turn her life around. Liam's grateful she can't hurt anyone ever again. Sheila will go. She just came for her follow-up too. Steffi asks, "How's your foot?" Sheila chuckles. She can show her. She posts up her foot on the bed. "I am now Sheila 8 Toes." Liam and Steffi grimace. Sheila says, "Come on, you've got to laugh." After Sheila's gone, Liam and Steffi joke about her showing them her toes. The can't-miss event of the season. He asks if Steffi will forgive her for everything else. Steffi doesn't want to talk about Sheila right now. There's something else she wants to discuss with him. She thinks it's a good idea to leave town for a while with the kids and get her head together. Liam encourages her to go for it. Steffi cries, "But I don't want to leave you." He means so much to her. Liam says they're family and nothing will change that. He'll be fine, and when she comes back, they can put all of this behind them. She nods. "I love you." He loves her too. What does Taylor overhear? At Forrester, Taylor creeps up on the office door as Brooke continues telling Ridge to come to his senses. She is fighting for him when he left her and went to Taylor. "He will never love her the way you love me. You can deny it all you want, but you love me, Ridge, and you always will." She wants to hash this out. He asks, "Over dinner?" Brooke says Nick will gladly have dinner with her. She'd rather it was him. It should be him. And deep down he knows it should be her. Later, Brooke's in the design office when Taylor appears. Brooke asks why she's there. She says she's looking for Ridge to have dinner. Brooke thinks he's busy preparing for the trip. "So, you can understand if he's not available." Taylor replies, "Can you understand that?" Brooke asks, "What do you mean?" Taylor closes the door. "I heard you earlier with Ridge. Doing what you do best. Making a play for him." She tells her Ridge is with her and there's nothing she can do in Italy or anywhere else to change that. "Nothing is coming between Ridge and me." At the hospital, Finn looks at Liam's scans and wonders, "What really happened to you, Liam?" Liam had not intended to be there. It was supposed to be a short visit to drop off a folder Brooke had left at the office. Nothing more. Nothing dramatic. Just a quiet Tuesday afternoon at Forrester Creations, with the faint scent of fresh orchids drifting through the corridors, and the subtle hum of air conditioning filling the quiet. But nothing ever seemed to go as planned when it came to Brooke Logan. He had found the house empty when he first arrived, or so it seemed. The foyer was silent, sunlight spilling through the high windows and casting elegant golden streaks across the polished floor. He called her name once, twice. No answer. Shrugging, he stepped inside, used to the freedom people in this family casually extended to one another. His eyes wandered around the familiar living room, tastefully decorated in soft pastels, picture frames lined up along the mantel, most of them containing snapshots of moments that now felt like lifetimes ago. He placed the folder on the glass coffee table, and was about to leave when he heard voices drifting from the garden patio. A soft laugh, Brooke's unmistakable voice, and then a man's lower, unfamiliar tone. Curiosity tugged at him, uninvited but insistent. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was just another harmless chat. But then again, nothing about Brooke ever really stayed harmless for long. Liam hesitated, then walked slowly toward the patio doors. The scene that unfolded on the other side of the glass froze him in his tracks. Brooke stood near the edge of the garden, the early summer breeze lifting strands of her golden hair, her hands nervously clasped in front of her. Across from her stood a man Liam didn't recognize immediately, but there was something vaguely familiar about him. His posture, the quiet confidence, the way his gaze remained fixed solely on her. He was tall, with salt and pepper hair and a refined elegance about him. Not rich. Definitely not Bill. Not Deacon. No one from the usual carousel of Brooke's romantic history. Liam reached for the handle but didn't slide the door open. Not yet. His instincts told him this wasn't a moment he should interrupt. He lingered, half hidden behind the curtain, watching, listening. I've thought about this, Brooke was saying, her voice trembling just enough to betray her nerves. And I know it might seem impulsive, but it isn't. Not to me. The man nodded slowly, stepping closer. You've never been impulsive with me, Brooke. Just honest. She smiled at that. A warm, sincere smile. Not the polished one she wore at events or board meetings. Something gentler. More vulnerable. Liam's mind raced. Who was this man? How long had he and Brooke been involved? He couldn't recall hearing anything about a new relationship. Not from Hope. Not from anyone. Yet here they were, caught in a moment thick with unspoken history. Brooke took a deep breath and then did something that caused Liam's heart to stop. She reached into the pocket of her dress and pulled out a small velvet box. Wait, Liam whispered under his breath, his hand tightening around the doorframe. She opened it with a soft click, revealing a simple, elegant band. Her eyes met the man's. I don't want to wait for life to give me the perfect moment. I want to make the moment perfect myself. Will you marry me? The world stood still. Even the breeze seemed to pause as the words hung between them. Brooke Logan, the woman whose romantic escapades had spanned decades of scandal and drama, was proposing. Not being proposed to proposing. The man's expression flickered with surprise, but then softened into something that startled Liam joy. He stepped forward, gently taking the ring box from her hand and setting it aside on the table. You've always been one step ahead, he said, his voice rich with emotion. But I've loved you from the very first day, Brooke. Yes, I'll marry you. Their embrace was quiet, intimate. No fireworks, no cameras. Just two people finding something rare and real. Right there in the middle of a sun-drenched garden. Liam stepped back, heart pounding. He shouldn't have seen that. It was private, sacred, even. But he couldn't shake the shock. Brooke was engaged. Again. But this time it felt different. There had been no fanfare, no drama, no Ridge standing on the sidelines throwing possessive glances. No interference from Taylor or Bill. Just Brooke, standing on her own 2 feet, taking the initiative. He slipped out of the house unnoticed, thoughts racing. The moment he got into his car, he called Hope. She didn't pick up. Probably in a meeting. Next he tried Steffi. It rang twice before she answered. Hey, Liam. Everything okay? I think so, he replied, still breathless. I just saw something. At Brooke's house. You're not going to believe it. Steffi chuckled. This sounds promising. Did she adopt a tiger or something? She proposed to someone. There was a pause on the line. She what? She proposed. Marriage. I saw the whole thing. He said yes. Who? Steffi's voice sharpened. Who did she propose to? I don't know. I didn't recognize him, but he looked familiar. Older guy. Distinguished. Salt and pepper hair. He seemed good. Solid. This is insane, she muttered. Brooke never proposes. I know. That's what makes it so surreal. Did you get a name? Anything? No. I didn't exactly stay for tea, Steffi. I probably shouldn't have seen it at all. No, you definitely shouldn't have, she said. But there was a hint of laughter in her voice now. God, Hope is going to freak. Liam ended the call soon after, still dazed. He kept seeing the scene play out in his mind, Brooke's nervous smile, the quiet intensity in the man's eyes, the way they fit together like puzzle pieces from some long-forgotten box. That night, at Hope's place, he told her everything. You saw the whole thing? She asked, wide-eyed. Like the actual proposal? Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. I just dropped off that folder and heard voices out back. I didn't know what I was walking into. Hope sank into the couch, her fingers running through her hair. Wow. That's huge. I didn't even know she was seeing anyone. Did she say anything to you about dating someone new? Liam shook his head. Not a word. Then who is he? That's the million-dollar question. Hope was silent for a long moment. You know what? Good for her. If she's found someone who makes her happy, and she's bold enough to go for it, that's kind of amazing. Mom's always waited for men to decide. Maybe this time, she decided for herself. Liam admired that optimism, but part of him couldn't help but wonder, was it truly different this time? Or just another chapter in a saga that never ended? The days that followed were full of speculation. The Forrester offices buzzed with hushed conversations and sideways glances. Rumors swirled, some wild, some oddly plausible. But Brooke said nothing. She kept working, smiling, laughing. Business as usual. Except for the quiet sparkle in her eye, and the discreet ring she now wore on a chain around her neck. When she finally announced it formally, she did so with grace. She gathered her children first, then the close circle of friends and colleagues. Ridge was not invited. Neither was Bill. Deacon surprisingly was. They all sat in the sunroom, where she told them calmly, "I'm getting married." She introduced them to Daniel Marchand, an old friend from her time in Paris years ago, a man who had known her before the scandals, before the fame. He had been recently widowed, living between San Francisco and Provence. Their paths had crossed again at a charity fundraiser a few months earlier, and something had clicked. "I didn't expect it," she said. "I wasn't looking for it. But life gave me a second chance." The room responded with stunned silence, followed by slow, scattered applause. Hope hugged her mother tightly, tears in her eyes. Donna beamed with pride. Katie looked wary but supportive. It wasn't Ridge. And maybe that was the whole point. After the gathering, Liam stepped out into the garden, the same spot where he had seen the moment unfold. Brooke joined him not long after, carrying 2 glasses of wine. "You saw it, didn't you?" she asked gently, handing him one. Liam nodded. "I didn't mean to. I heard your voice and I stayed." Brooke smiled. "It's okay. Maybe it's fitting in a way. You've seen so many of my worst moments. Why not one of the best?" He smiled back. "It felt different, watching you take the lead. You looked happy." "I am," she said. "For the first time in a long time, I'm doing something for me. No ghosts, no patterns, just truth." They sipped in silence for a moment, the quiet hum of crickets filling the twilight air. "I hope it works out," Liam said. "So do I," Brooke replied. "But even if it doesn't, I'll never regret asking. That's the difference this time. I made the choice." He nodded, finally understanding. And for the first time in years, Brooke Logan wasn't chasing a dream. She was creating one. Let me know if you want it adjusted for a specific tone, or tailored for a particular character focus.